welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for popping in here. So today I am doing a update video of our homeschool life. I believe this is episode 7 of 2021-2022 school year. And if you have just popped into this video, we have 3 homeschool students, and this is our 6th year of schooling now, I think. Anyway, I have a 4th grader, a 1st grader, and then a preschooler that we are doing. So in this video, I'm just going to update you on what we are covering and kind of how we've morphed our school year to work for us, and just a little fun chitty chat about how things are going. So let's go ahead and get started. So it's taken me a while, I feel like, to sit down and film this video because either A, I didn't feel like I had enough to talk about, or B, the weather was bad and I don't have external lighting. So if there's no sun outside, then we don't film those days. But anyway, today's a good day. So I'm just gonna kind of share with you guys a little bit about what I'm doing. I am still using, this is the lesson planner thing that I made for myself eons ago, and a lot of you guys have picked it up over on my Teachers Pay Teacher shop, and I'm going to be referencing this as I explain to you guys what we're doing. But essentially it's kind of based off of like an Erin Condren planner, but I don't like to invest in those because there are so many pages that I don't use because I don't have a classroom full of kids. I don't have substitutes, I don't have seating arrangements, like all of those additional pages I just didn't know how to utilize. And so this is just something that I kind of whipped up, and it just has like Monday through Friday with the blank dates in it. And then I write my kids' names up on the top here. I did a whole video about like how I organize the school year. So if you didn't see that, this is just like a quick summary, but I just put my kids' names on the top here. We have one column is family school and one column is unit studies. And that's how I just kind of organize it. Now I have my kids' personal checklists that I have been trying to keep up on, but I'll be totally honest, I've kind of slacked off because, true to every other year, like I'm the one that's checking off of those lists. And I've just found that to save time, I'm not filling out those. I'm only filling out my copy of it. And then as we finish each of those subjects, or one child like finishes an assignment, then I'll just like highlight it and say, okay, good, you did that, or whatever. So anyway, that's where we are in like how I track all of our work. I still have this front page here where I've been like trying to take our attendance and such. So anyway, that's kind of where we are as far as like how I thought the organization of our school year would go. My kids don't have their personal trackers so much, but I still think that they're beautiful, and and I would keep doing it. So anyway, let me flip over to week 13. We just finished our 13th week of school, and we have moved into, so let me start with family school. We are still doing character studies, although it's not as like well organized as it was our first 2 character studies that we did. So we're on our 3rd character study. We're doing initiative right now. And I didn't take, when I initially planned the school year, I only had those first two characters kind of like supplemented and planned out, and all like the things that I wanted to include in our study. And I didn't do that for initiative. And so because I did not prepare in the beginning, we are slipping here in where we are now. So we do talk about it, and I have like the word up on the wall just outside of the frame here. And it's sad, actually, because initiative is the one thing that I feel like my kids need more practice in. And so anyway, this is a good way for me to like self-reflect and be like, I really need to take some of my hours of my day and just kind of like more intentionally plan that out. And I do have like a resource that's a supplemental thing that I could add in, and it would probably be pretty easy. I just haven't done it yet. So true to the homeschool life, we are hobbling along on that portion. We went to the theater this week, so that was really kind of like a fun side thing. They had like the youth theater production that was like $1 for us to go to. So we did that at the beginning of our week this week, and it was a fun, like a field trip day. So anyway, that was that. I don't know why I told you that, but now you know. So our unit study right now, we were doing Little House in the Big Woods, and I'll be honest, we never finished it. I just couldn't get myself back into the book. So we stopped about, I think we're maybe 100 pages out, maybe a little less. So we're at the, if you know Little House in the Big Woods, we were like at the chapter with the bees. We were about to learn the bees, and I never got to that part of it. So we just switched gears. So I'm like, I had intended to finish it weeks ago, and then it kept spilling over and spilling over. And then before I knew it, I was like, we've lost so much momentum in this that I'm not even interested in it anymore. So there you go. We didn't finish another book. So we have moved into volcanoes, and this is a lap book that I got off of homeschoolshare.com. If you are new to the homeschooling world and you don't know of them, they have just a humongous library of free resources that you can download and create unit studies from. So that's where this lap book came from. And I obviously have not downloaded all of their content, but of the few things that I have, they usually come with like a little teacher's thing. Whoops, wrong way. Like a little teacher's, whatever you want to call this, guide. So it has all of the like vocabulary words, and then it kind of says what you can do on given days of your unit. So you can structure it however you want to, but it's just a great free resource, homeschoolshare.com. The one that I picked out obviously was volcanoes. So we're kind of like working through this, and it's been so good. Like I give myself 5 thumbs up because sometimes I feel like I don't really nail the science units very well. And right now I'm like, we're like doing really well right now. So we have this in connection with that, where my son is reading this book independently, I Survived the Destruction of Pompeii. And I think I talked about this in my last video, but I went on to Teachers Pay Teachers. I typed in I survived, and there was a teacher that had created like kind of a reading comprehension questions, character studies, like just a little guide. So I printed that out as well. So he's doing that. Just some side things that we did. So we do a lot of mini posters in addition to this. So like these back here are mini posters. We talked about the types of volcanoes. When we were talking about the layers of the earth, this is mine, obviously, but my kids are not this nice. Anyway, so I like to do it with my kids because it's just fun for me. But anyway, so we just make these mini posters, and then we'll either put them up here or behind me or behind the camera here as our science wall. And so we just kind of like post it up there. Also in our science wall in the pockets, what are those called? Whatever. Anyway, I'm having my son do his own vocabulary cards. So he is writing the word, drawing a picture, and then writing the definition on the back. So once a week now we've been doing a chunk of library vocabulary cards. So that's been like an addition for that. And I've really just enjoyed this because it's been a fun thing. We did watch Bill Nye's version of the Layers of the Earth at one point. I have a whole stack of library books that even like at the beginning of our unit study, I'll just give the kids a book and just be like, here, just like read. And I won't like set a timer or anything. It's just kind of like, see what you can learn. And then something without fail has caught their eye. And eventually like we all start talking about it. And so far, the lap book will have something that correlates into that. Now, I did write down on my little notebook here, like I want to do Earth trivia on Monday. I want to talk about what the inside of the volcano diagram on Tuesday. I want to do the types of volcanoes posters on Wednesday. So there are a few things that I did to just kind of make sure that the unit moves along the way that I want it to, but it's been really fun. So we're about to wrap up this portion of it here next week, and then we're going to move into this history pocket. I've talked about history pockets before, and they're just really a fun interactive way to kind of walk through moments in history. This is an Evan Moore resource, and again, I have videos on my YouTube about them. If you haven't seen them, I'll put an eye in the sky here for them. But we're just going to do ancient Rome, and conveniently, the first pocket is going to have the eruption of Mount Vesuvius. but it does have severals. Now, other things. Now, we're not going to do all 8 of these pockets. I think we're doing, well, it's going to take us up until Christmas, I think. So up until Christmas break. I'm checking right now. Yes. It's going to take us up until Christmas break. So we're going to do the introduction, daily life, education, entertainment, I think. I don't know if we're doing religion and mythology. I can't remember. But anyway, so this is going to kind of be the end of the unit. Now, I am not where I thought I was going to be at the beginning of the school year when we started studying units. I thought I would be going into our painting unit by now, but we haven't. So that's just how life goes. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Okay, now let me quickly go through a few of my stuff. I'm going to spend most of my time talking about my 4th grader just because I feel like he has the most diversity and change in his schoolwork. My 2 youngers, my first and my preschooler, their stuff is very much the same, but I'll kind of breeze through it in case we have similar aged children and you like to hear what's going on with us over there. So, first and foremost is my son. Let's talk about math. I added these into both my son and my daughter. So these are, you get these on Amazon. They're called Math Trekkers, Trekker. The green one is multiplication and the orange one is addition and subtraction. Division as well. I did not say that. Multiplication and division. And it does it by number families. So it just kind of goes through and it gamifies memorizing those math facts. And then when they finish, then it tells them what time, how long it took them. And so then it says, beat your score, play again. So then the kids try to beat their score and get faster. And so we've been using these in place of flashcards and they've been amazing. And we take them, when my daughter's doing gymnastics, then my son will play this. So anyway, they're just kind of a fun, like, tote along. If you are in the car or waiting at the dentist office, then your other kiddos can do this as well. But as far as like a daily basis, I just put it in their math drawer and I usually set my timer just on my watch and I'm like, okay, just do it for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever I feel is appropriate. And I'll just set my watch and they'll play for that. So that's like kind of their warm up for their math. And then we are still doing the Christian Light Education Workbook, but I haven't been trying to like push through that very quickly. I intended to finish all of these light books by the end of December. So then in January, we would start with Horizons grade 4. But we're not on that path. We're going really slow. I think we have 3 more books that we have to go through before I'm going to move over to grade 4 Horizons. So we may not make it this year. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. As far as language and spelling, so I'm doing spelling UC, and at the beginning of the year, I was like in such a turmoil about spelling, but spelling UC has been such an answer for us because he really has become more confident in spelling. And now we're in like level B. Okay. I mean, we're not like anywhere near grade level, but it's just been such a great thing. And it's been fast lessons and he enjoys reading the poems. Starting here in a week, I think, is we're going to move into part 2 of level B, which if you've done spelling UC is more dictation and just kind of copying the whole poem as opposed to writing 3 and 4 and 5 letter words. So, anyway, it's been going really well, and I just am feeling so grateful for that, as well as doing Explode the Code. Now, I feel like Explode the Code is a little more relaxed because my son doesn't necessarily recognize that he's like learning specific words, right? There's not like a list of words at the beginning and then 5 activities or whatever. It's just kind of, they're all like hidden within the lesson. So it's a little more relaxed, and I'm not necessarily trying to drill him to learn those words. But he likes that book too. So I'll probably end up getting the next level here in January when he finishes whatever level he's on. I don't even know. What is he on? Level 5. So Okay. I did get this one. This is an edition as well. This is a Carson DeLosa education book, and my son has been just showing a lot of interest in wanting to learn how to write in cursive. So I got him this little book, and he's been kind of learning how to write those words, and I don't like require anything of him. We don't practice it. He just like pulls it out and he's like, I want to practice these letters. So it's been kind of fun. And actually, when we were doing our volcano book yesterday, he was filling out that like little mini pocket in cursive. So I was like, that's fantastic. Let's do this. So that's been kind of fun. Another thing that we've thrown in, so we are in unit 5, I'm going to say, of our Abeka book. Yes, unit 5, and it's entitled Something to Write About. And that unit 6 is the writing process. So we've been kind of bouncing back and forth between the lesson in there. And the other thing that my son has just really loved doing in place of like the actual lesson book is he'll just like do this little creative thinking writing thing, which is you just draw the cards and it tells you a topic and then you write about it. And so I don't have it close by, but we pull out the little hamburger, like how to build a paragraph or an essay or whatever. And so then he practices writing a story using the paragraph, like the hamburger format. So, and he just really likes to write fictional stories. So is that fictional? Yeah. Nonfiction? Fictional. Okay. Anyway, so that's kind of an addition. And again, like this isn't something that I like schedule in our school day. Sometimes just randomly. It's usually like, I'll say one time for sure. On occasion, it's 2 times. Now we only have a 4-day school week, so it's not super frequently, but he does take time at least once a week to pull this out and do that in place, and he just gets to write. So that's been kind of fun. That's the 4th graders' work. That's everything. Okay. So moving on to my daughter, she is doing, 1st grade work, and she's also doing the volcano unit, although I'll be honest, I'm not incorporating her as much as I need to, because she didn't have like a lot of interest in volcano. This is more like catered towards my son's personal interests. And so she looks at the library books and she makes the little mini posters when we're doing that. But I'm not being as intentional about it with her like I probably need to. So as far as science goes, I'm actually going to need to pull out probably one of my old Evan Moore science books, maybe like Skill Sharpeners. Are you shocked that I said that? Because, you know, I love Skill Sharpeners. Anyway, I'll just I don't even know if they have a Skill Sharpener science, to be honest, but I'll have to like look at them and see if they have some kind of science book that speaks to me, or I do have a level 1 science book from BJU Press that I could start walking through. So I have some things that I really do need to like more intentionally give her some science stuff. And the only reason I say that is because I do have this connection with the school district that I have to report crap to. And this is my last year that I'm doing it, mark my words. But anyway, so science is one of the requirements. So I'm not performing enough for them. So anyway, so that's that with her. Oh, and the other thing that I'll tell you, all of her other curriculum is the same. I really am enjoying Abeka. I'm really enjoying Horizons Math. She is doing BJU Press History. We're about to start the Native American unit. So everything is going really great. But I will give a double thumbs up. And I know you're going to laugh because you'll be like, Kaylin, hello, we know. But this has been such an awesome book for her. And she loves going to this for her reading time. This is her independent reading. Now she does read library books on her own when she feels like it. But as far as like tracking some kind of progress, I don't know what to tell you, but it's just been a really fun book and it covers so much stuff. She loves reading the stories and we're getting towards the end now. She's almost done with it, but the stories, I'm going to show you here. The stories are so much more story-esque, right? Like there's a beginning and a middle and an end instead of just like at the beginning of this book. I did a whole review on this I gave it its own video, so you should watch that probably. But anyway, at the beginning, you can see it was just like really short words. But now here at the end, she's reading and such, and they have cut and paste activities, and like, look, this one's like draw a pup, and it's just been such a great book. So Skill Sharpeners reading has been like 2 thumbs up. I would highly recommend this if you are trying to figure out, like, I know that we need to do reading, but I don't want to like grab a regular sized book. And anyway, so that's been awesome. As for my son, I didn't bring it over here, but my youngest is doing Christian Light Education, and we just finished book 2, so we're moving into book 3. There are 5 light units. 5? Yeah, there's 5 light units. So he's just moving right along, and he is beginning to read 3-letter words, CVC words, and he is obsessed with it. He loves taking time to just read 3-letter words, and like, I just barely started him on like 2, like red car. We don't do car, that's AR, but you know what I mean? Like 2 chunks of words together. So anyway, he's just really enjoying it. And then we also do our daily learning notebook every day still. I print off all of the skills pages based on the month. So we just finished October. So I've printed all of the November pages and a November calendar, and whatever letter that we're doing for that particular week. I print off several activities for that. He does that for his daily learning notebook as well as his interactive notebook. We're still doing all of those. And these are resources that I have over on my Teachers Pay Teachers shop because they're just tried and true, and we love doing them. So what I was going to say about that is he does his daily learning notebook almost by himself, and I have just stopped caring how many of those skill pages he does. I was in the beginning really like making sure, no, only do 1 page, this one's for tomorrow, but I just stopped caring. I was like, I don't care. If you do all of them and we're on November 15th, then what's the difference? I'll just print them out for you again and you can do it again. We haven't had to do that yet. He usually finishes probably about a couple of days before the end of the month, so then he just has a few days off, but he doesn't do it every single day. We don't pull out the daily learning notebook every single day because he does kind of breeze through several of those skill pages. He already writes his name on his own. So it's kind of a little, I don't want to say it's juvenile for him, but it is what it is. So anyway, there's that. And I'll touch really quickly on this because I did mention it last year, is my son doesn't hold his pencil the way that traditional schooling tries to instruct people to hold pencils. And I've tried the like training, whatever things, like rubber things. I've tried big pencils and small pencils and pencils with divots and grooves and whatever. And like, no matter what I try, he just holds it like this. So conveniently, I mean, it's not convenient, but surprising, whatever, it's coincidentally, I guess, is that I have, because I've been so aware of it, I do notice grown adults who write like that. And I'm like, this is just how he's going to write. And I do still on occasion put the little rubber trainer on the pencil, and he'll hold it like that, and he can maneuver the pencil just fine. So I think we'll just be in this space for a while. And I mentioned that because maybe you're in a space where you're like, my child's not holding the pencil correctly, or my child doesn't sit in the desk correctly, or my child doesn't do fill in the blank the way that I think that they should, or the way that traditional school teaches us. And obviously that's just the benefit of homeschool, is that we get to cater our education to our children's needs. And I just don't think that my little preschooler would be able to go to school holding his pencil like that and not be corrected continually because it's not the normal, right? So, and holding a pencil is a simple thing. Of course, there are other things, whether your child's not at the right level of subject area or whatever. Like, it's just been such a blessing to be able to take a step back and see my kids' needs and see their interests. And I've just relaxed so much compared to where I began when I started homeschooling. And it really has just become just a part of our life and a part of our day. And it's awesome. So not sure how I got on that tangent, but I was feeling it. So anyway, thanks so much for watching this video with me, guys. Hopefully I will catch you in the next one.